Yay, it's Spooktober, guys. Welcome to the very first Halloween makeup look. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. I'm so excited. So you know it is spooky season. It is October, and it wouldn't be right if I didn't bring any Halloween looks. So the first official look of the season is going to be Corpse Bride by Tim Burton. I know a lot of you know this film, and this was actually a requested look, and this is what I'll be doing all October. So if you have any specific Halloween looks that you would like to see, whether it be just to watch me create it, if you want to know how to do it yourself for DIY Halloween looks, or you just want to see some Halloween looks, let me know in the comments down below, and I will definitely be executing every single last look that I can. I'm only doing 15, but I still have some space left, so if you have anything that you want to see, let me know. So starting off, I used a Power Grip primer because essentially what I'm going to be using on my face and body is still makeup, so I used the Power Grip primer. Then I also took some lash glue. Now I wanted to use lash glue to lay my brows down because specifically the brow gel that I have right now wasn't going to get the job done the way I wanted to, and I wanted to make sure that these were laid down. And then I went ahead and I took some setting powder and buffed it over that after it dried down a bit so I can go ahead and start laying the face paint down. So I will be using the You Can Be Athena paint palette throughout this whole video. I think that's the only thing that I used in this video, but I am right now creating her color, and I felt like this was about it. I know it looks a little blue and she's more of like bluish gray, but I wanted to make sure that I at least got the blue undertone because I know once you go in and start highlighting and contouring, the look will start coming through. So I'm literally going to take this paint after I mixed it, and mind you, I mixed like a baby blue, a violet, and a white to get this color. So I'm taking a makeup brush and I am literally just lathering it all over my face and my chest. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have blue stuck everywhere for days. Even when I went to go wash this look off, I was like, oh, I probably should have did this look before I took my shower, because I was struggling to get this off. I was like, it's gonna be blue everywhere. People are gonna be like, are you okay? You got to be breaking down to something? No, I love makeup, and I did makeup, and I turned myself blue. So now that I have that on there, I would normally go in and set, but I realized I did not have a setting powder, so we kind of just stuck with the wet look. Okay, but I did use some setting spray, but we'll get there. So I'm taking this black eyeliner pencil, liquid eyeliner, and literally I kind of just followed her brows. I just went like in a squiggly motion and I stopped at the corner of my eyes. It's literally how her brows look. There's nothing really to it. It was just a regular black liquid liner pencil, and then I went back in with the baby blue and the white paint, and now I'm going to start highlighting her area. So essentially doing her makeup, or doing my makeup. So when you put your base on, all right, you done did your brows, now it's time to highlight and contour. That's basically what I'm doing. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to put that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, my upper lip, my chin. Did I say my forehead already? I don't know if I said that. I think I said the bridge of my nose, but my forehead too. And literally, like I said, if you're doing a full face, it's the same technique. I am going to make it a little bit more lifted because if you know, Emily's cheekbones are very, very chiseled, and I wanted to make sure that I had that lifted look alongside that. So I went ahead and I put that on there. Now, I will say, if you are using the Athena You Can Be paint palette, or any paint palette for that matter, be careful not to drag your brushes too much, because when you do, sometimes it'll start separating the paint and then your skin will start showing through, and that happened to me a couple times with laying the base and even doing my contour. But I'm taking a foundation brush. I needed a really big brush. I tried to use little brushes and I was just too impatient for that. So I'm taking my big foundation brush and I'm just buffing out the edges. Not really doing too much inside of it because I wanted to keep that full coverage look, but I am doing the outside to make it look more soft and refined so we're not having harsh edges. But like I said, just be careful when you're applying the paint and you're putting it on. Like, dabbing it is fine, and if you have more than enough paint on the brushes to glide and slide, then you can do that. But if you don't have enough, your brushes will start separating the paint. So now I am taking that same violet color and I am starting to chisel my face out. So Emily's nose is T, so you have to snatch. And it was kind of fun actually doing this because you realize how easy it is to snatch a nose with makeup, with color, that is, because when I try to do this any other time with my regular makeup routine, it don't come out like this. But this right here was so fun. I'm also taking that violet color and bringing it up to the base of the brow, only because I had to make room for her eyeshadow. Now I know I didn't really use too much space for that, which I could have if I really wanted to go full out and full on, but I really just wanted to pay homage to the character, so I didn't really want to change her too much. I just wanted to transform myself into her. Then I'm also taking what's left over on my brush that has my quote-unquote concealer on it, and making sure that this nose contour is chiseled. And then I'm gonna take the same black liner pencil that I had before, and I'm gonna start creating her nose. I started off small just because obviously her nose was really, really small, but I was gonna play with the actual like dimensions later on once I kind of just got everything on, because I knew I didn't want to keep the actual nose that small because it wasn't going to match up with my actual nose, and I wanted everything to make sense. So I kind of just placed it on there, and I wanted to catch an idea later. That's the fun part about makeup. You can keep going until you feel like it makes sense. Now if I was really, really good at special effects, then yeah, this probably would have stuck there and stayed there. But nah, I was like, let's match it up with my real nose later on down in the game. When I started creating her eyes, I actually had an idea. I was going to use black, like the black liner, because she kind of actually has like black liner on, but I was like, I don't want this to be like one black circle around my eye and then I fill it in with white. I wanted it to make sense. So what I did was I kind of just drew a guide of where I wanted the eye to stop, and then I went in with the black liner. But woo, my liner was like, I'm no match for this paint palette, baby. It's eating me up. So I just had to keep dipping in there and making sure I try to make the line as clean as possible, but that white paint was just eating my girl up. But it's okay. You can always go back in with like a black eyeshadow or any other black liquid liner just to make sure it's nice and neat. But I honestly couldn't find any of my other black liners. I think it's time for me to go shopping to get some more. So right now I'm just creating the eye, and I knew I didn't want to take the white eye all the way up because like I said, I wanted to leave space for the eyeshadow. As minimalistic as hers is, I still wanted to make sure I had that glam aspect in there and make sure I looked like her enough. So now I'm going to go into the Profusion Cosmetics Peanuts collection. Specifically, this is their Trick or Treat eyeshadow palette, and they had this perfect violet, like kind of navy blue eyeshadow color in there, and I was like, great, I need this color. And I'm literally just going to place her above, because if you watch the Corpse Bride movie, you know that Emily actually has this like very dark eyeshadow, like, or dark lid, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's like eyeshadow. I think it's makeup. That I'm a makeup girl, so I'm gonna think it's makeup. So I kind of just wanted to pay homage to that. And I noticed like sometimes it peeks through. Obviously when she puts her eyes down, then yes, you can see it more, but I kind of just wanted it to be like a peekaboo color there, to just be like, hey, you know, it's there. But I wanted to also make sure that when I created her eyes, they were as big as hers was, because she has some big eyes. And I went ahead and I literally just put that above the eye frame. With that same eyeshadow that I use, I'm actually going to use that to create Emily's contour, or my contour, and I'm really focusing it in like the divot of my cheekbone. So not necessarily on my cheekbone or below it. I'm literally putting it, like if I was to do like the fish lips or duck lips, you would see like that indentation. So I'm literally putting it there, and I'm creating like an angle with it, because her cheekbones are kind of slanted downwards, but like they poke out, you know, it's shadows and everything. But I just wanted to make sure that I got her cheekbones right. And don't worry, I am going to go in later and I'm going to clean it up so it really looks defined. Right now I just wanted to make sure I had it in the right place and start dispersing it in areas that I felt like needed more contour, needed more depth. So that's why I did my temples. So this is me right now spraying my face with a matte setting spray. Woo! I'm kind of glad I did that, because I was getting a little oily, and this matte setting spray actually helped a lot. Like, surprisingly, with the amount of makeup that I did, it actually stayed on without transferring much. But I'm taking whatever was left on my foundation brush that I used to blend out my concealer, quote unquote, under the eye, and I'm really using that to clean it up so I can look like I have that nice chiseled cheekbone. This is me, I'm still fanning that makeup because it was still a little wet and I really wanted to press it in. But yes, I used the matte setting spray to help her stay there. And then this is me going back in with some more of that white paint on the eye, because I noticed she had started cracking a bit once I progressed throughout the rest of my makeup. And I could have used a white eyeshadow to set it, but I used so much paint that the paint was starting to get on my brushes, and then whenever I put it into the eyeshadow palette, it was not picking up any eyeshadow. So I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna have to layer her on there until she looks good. Now the lips was actually the easiest part. There was already 2 colors in the palette itself that quite literally gave you like Emily's lip color. So what I did was I lined my lips with a darker version of what she had on in the film, just so I can have a guide, because I wanted it to really stand out. But then also too, I'm a girlie that wears lip liner. Like, if you're just putting lipstick on without a lip liner, I'm convinced you take showers with socks on. Like, baby girl, put on a liner. So I'm putting on this darker liner and I'm making sure my lips stand out. Now her lips were a little wide, like kind of like a brat doll almost, or not really like a brat doll then, because you know brat doll's kind of small and big, but I can't really describe it. But hers were kind of wide, and I was just like, all right, you know, let me kind of draw mine out a little bit. And that's what I did. And then literally the color that you just me putting on the lips is the exact color that was in the palette. And I was like, perfect, because that's the color of Emily's lips. So I went ahead and I put that on, and I liked it because it actually gave that depth perception. Now this is me going back in with that black liner because, like I said, once again, I wanted to fix the nose. It needed to match. And I was tired of seeing my nose peek through, and I was like, it wasn't making sense. At this part, I was like, dang, I kind of like Michael Jackson a little bit. But I was just like, it's coming together. I'm seeing a vision though. So once I got that on there, I actually decided to go back in with that same concealer that I use under my eye and create like that line in the middle of my nose, just to separate the nostrils. That's all. This was just to create the appearance of her nose. And I was just like, oh, this is super cute. Now this is crazy. Like I look crazy, but this is it right here. This is really it. And then I went ahead and I actually used lash glue, and I just started putting it on my face because I wanted to make sure I had that cut, and then just a few like withered and weathered marks on my face to really resemble being the corpse bride. And the glue was the easiest thing. So I've seen people use like tissue and glue. If you like, that's another way to use special effects. So if you want to see me kind of use at home stuff to create like gore makeup, cuts and bruises and stuff, let me know down in the comments, because I would love to show you guys how to do that. I'm also using that same lash glue so I can just start lining the outer corner of the eye, so I can start putting some lashes on there. But what I did was use some clusters, because Emily is that girl and she has the best lashes in the game, and I wanted to make sure my lashes represented that. And when I looked over and saw I had clusters, I was like, oh, this is perfect. I don't have to cut up none of my lashes. So I'm going ahead and I'm putting that on. I think I put like 3 large clusters at the bottom, and then at the top I think I did like 2 mediums, 2 smalls, just to create that illusion of the lashes. Now as far as the glue on my face too, I did just go back in with like some brown and black eyeshadow and kind of just zhuzhed it up a little bit to make it look like I had that gash on my face, and to just, like I said, add that like she crawled up out the grave look to it. But the lashes was actually what pulled it together for me. Like I knew where I was going with this, but I just feel like my lashes just like really scream like, oh yeah, I know who this is now. I know who this is. Because honestly, you probably would have thought like a blue Michael Jackson or something. Like it was crazy. Oh, don't mind my hair, guys. My scarf slid off and I was like, forget it, doesn't matter, I'm about to put on a wig. I know I need my hair done. Don't say nothing to me. I just washed her. She is freshly washed, so that's why she looks a little crazy. But like I said, I'm using some brown and some black eyeshadow, and I'm kind of just pressing that into the glue. And I like the way the glue separated, because it's giving like that icky and nasty cut like type of feel to it. That's why I said if you want to see a video of me using at home stuff to create gory makeup, let me know and I'll be glad to show you guys. Yeah, so once I got that figured out, I went ahead and I finished putting the lashes on. Like I said, I think I used 2 large lashes on the outside of the eye, and then 2 small lashes in the inner corner of like the eye. Not my eye, but Emily's big old eyes. Yeah. Oh, another thing, because I did not show you this, I just didn't feel the need to. I just used one of my wigs, and I had like this blue hairspray that Red by Kiss they sent me, and it was in the color Cayenne. C-Y-A-N, that's Cayenne, right guys? Yeah, it's Cayenne. And I kind of just sprayed it through the hair. I didn't make the whole hair blue because the blue and the black just made sense to me. It added contrast. So that's what I did for the wig that you will be seeing me put on eventually. But now I'm going in with some black eyeshadow, and I'm just creating her beady little eyes, beady little eyes, to create that illusion that I'm looking at you even though I'm really not, because, you know, if I open my eyes, it looks crazy, like, but I'm just creating that illusion. I did put a little bit on my waterline as well too, just because I didn't want it to stop there on my upper lid. I wanted to make sure, like I said, it gave that illusion of beady eyes, which I feel like I kind of mastered it. I wish I would have used like a black liquid liner, but it was not mixing well with the paint, so I was like, the eyeshadow is just gonna have to do. I did go in with a little bit of liquid liner just to set it a little bit, but for the most part the paint and the liquid liner was like, girl, it's gonna be either or, not both. But that is pretty much it for this look, guys. If you love this look, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, comment and let me know, and also let me know what other looks you want to see. Can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.